Welcome back to officially our first proper topic episode of Mr. Mysteries in Black and White with your two hosts, Josh and Ed.
Hello.
First things first, seeing it's been a while. Ed, how have you been, mate?
What, since last week?
Well, yeah, but...
Because we returned last week. Nah, pretty good, mate, pretty good. Same
old, innit? Yeah.
Just work, and Arsenal's best team in the world. Don't care what anyone says.
Well, we was just on about that before we started recording. It's like, how? I don't get it. It's like the polar opposites of our teams when, obviously, Arsenal and United, how they were unreal, wank, and now one's unreal, and one's really wank. And yet the emotions that we've both gone through this week with them bloody clubs, my God in heaven.
Yeah. But no, yeah, apart from that, look, pretty good. Seems like our return episode done quite well.
Yeah, so thank you for everyone that did watch it, listen to it, both, whatever, reacted in any way.
You're the real ones.
Yeah, real OGs.
You know what I mean? Because like you say, we ain't been about for 6 months.
No, so it does make sense if some people are just like, nah.
Yeah, no, and I get that, because I'm the same.
Yeah, I would be.
I am the same. Like, there's been a few podcasts what I've listened to over the years, and it's always like I'll get to like the last episode before they release another, and if it ain't like within the next couple of weeks, I'll like forget about them. Yeah. And then they come back, and I'm like, oh, we'll do it at some point, and then
you just never do. Yeah. So those that have stuck around, really, really do appreciate you. You are the real MVPs.
Yeah, all 4 of you.
And we know all 4 as well. Yeah. That's a tragic bit.
And I think I'm one of them. but no, like, no, it is good to be back, and I can't. To do an actual topic
episode, Which, speaking of, as you can tell by the title, today we are going to be discussing various stories from Creepypasta. Which, if you don't know what it is, Ed, what is a Creepypasta?
I don't know.
It's some geezer making stories, isn't it?
Yeah. Hang on. Just got to pull up my notes. A creepypasta is a horror-related legend which has been shared around the internet. The term creepypasta has since become a catch-all term for any horror content posted on the internet.
Oh, right. I thought it was like one not company, but you know what I mean? One group doing it.
It's just like the term of it.
So so the majority of these stories are probably from different people then.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Yeah. These entities are often brief, user-generated paranormal stories that are intended to frighten readers.
Mm-hmm. But some of them they do bloody well.
Yeah, because like I say, I've got 5 what I'm going to discuss today.
Yeah.
And, you know, like they're quite well. Well, one of them technically isn't a creepypasta, but I've always associated with it.
Yeah, so have I. I mean, obviously, for those that do know what a creepypasta is, I think the obvious one that everybody does know, even if you don't know what a creepypasta is, you've more than likely heard about this one, which is Slender Man.
Yeah.
Obviously, it ended up, the story became that big that it ended up becoming a game, ended up becoming a film.
A lot of them do end up being games, and some of them is because of games.
Yeah, right, yeah, it's almost like a lore of that character sort of thing. Yeah. Similar to the Dead by Daylight on the Hunt we did then.
Yeah,
in a way, sort of way.
Kinda, yeah. But like I say, with the creepypastas I'm going to talk about, like they're quite well known, and some of them are really well known that actually cause actual crime.
Yeah, which again I won't get into because obviously Ed will, but that is tied into what we were saying with the Slender Man. Is that when we get into it, I'll explain more. But that I remember when I heard about it was just mind-boggling. Do you know what I mean? It's like
I think we actually talked about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
Ago,
yeah,
like. But I do remember it.
It's just mental.
But no, I think...
Without further ado...
Let's do this.
Let's crack on.
You know what? I feel such pressure. Doing like the first one. I feel more pressure doing this one than I did when we first ever started.
Jesus Christ.
I feel so much pressure. Oh, God, this is horrible. But the first one I'm going to talk about is Jeff the Killer. And if you don't know who Jeff the Killer is, I mean, Josh will put a picture up here.
Yeah. Which, just as a side note, we was literally talking before we started rolling, and I was like, I don't really recall the Jeff the Killer. looking at that picture, I've seen. Yeah, now it rings a bell. I never knew it was associated with him.
Yeah,
but
that is
that is. I've definitely seen that picture before.
Look, Jeff the Killer, or its full name is Jeffrey Woods, or Jeff, or Jeffrey the Killer, or Joker Reject.
Joker Reject. Look at that picture, brilliant.
Jeff the Killer, born Jeffrey Woods, is the titular main protagonist. Turned to the main antagonist of the 2011 and 2015 revamped creepypasta story of the same title, Jeff the Killer and Jeff the Killer of 2015. He is an adolescent serial killer and registered creepypasta. He was disfigured after being set on fire while fighting a gang of bullies and lost his sanity after witnessing his new and beautiful face. Jeff was a 13-year-old who moved to the new neighbourhood with his brother, Lou, and their parents. On the first day of school, they were accosted by 3 bullies named Randy, Keith and Troy, whom Jeff brutally beat up after they threatened them with knives.
Go on, Jeff.
Lou took the blame for it and was arrested, sending Jeff into a deep depression. The bullies later attacked Jeff again at a party, and Jeff killed one of them, but not before getting covered in bleach and lit on fire by Keith. During this fight, Jeff's mind permanently snapped.
Yeah, no shit.
When Jeff woke up, he was at the hospital and his head was wrapped in bandages. When the bandages were taken off, it was revealed that his face had become disfigured and ghastly pale from the burns, with bright red lips and a leathery texture. Jeff said that he liked his face this way and laughed hysterically. Who does that remind you of? But the doctor foolishly thought that this insanity was merely a side effect of the painkillers and let Jeff go home. Later that night, Jeff's mother found him carving his face into a permanent smile so that he would no longer have to exert energy to smile. As he put it, and burning off his eyelids so he could always see his face. Jesus Jeff's Christ. Mother went to her husband to tell him that their son had gone completely mad and needed to be killed. Not just locked up or anything. I thought about it long and hard. We've just got to kill him. It's the only way we're going to save his soul is we kill him. Not get him put into an institute.
No. Right, hubby. Right, we've got to talk about our son. Right, what's going on? Well, are you seeing him, all right? He's losing the plot, bless him. Okay, we need to get him some professional help. Well, what are you thinking? Shotgun.
Yeah.
Just do what?
Yeah. We need to get him help. The only way is a bullet in the head. You fucking bat.
Very reasonable woman.
Yeah. You know what that kind of reminds me of? Have you ever seen Human Centipede 2?
No, I think that's the only one I haven't seen. I've seen the first and the third, but
screwed up. That's fucked. But there's a bit in it, and the main person, Martin, he don't speak, but he squeaks and that.
Right.
He's a rum old boy. You know. And his mum, he lives with his mum,
right?
And they were having tea, and his mum said, "I've decided we're both going to commit suicide." It's like,
don't I get a say in this?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
All right. But then
shit goes down.
Yeah.
If you've seen the first Human Centipede, I'm pretty sure you can kind of guess what this one's sort of about.
It's worse.
Is it?
In so many ways. You need to watch it.
Yeah, I need to.
If you haven't seen it, it's a lovely family film. Bring your young kids.
It's under the Disney Pixar banner.
My God. I remember watching it the first time, actually. I was with... it was me, my sister, and her ex-partner. And we was watching it. And the whole time, my mouth was just dropped to the floor. Can you imagine being the writer of that film and go to a studio and that and be like, we need an idea for a film, and he just puts his hand on the table and went, have no fear, I am here. I have got a right pearl.
But then again, who is the more fucked in that situation? The one who writ it or the producer that read it and going, yeah, all right, go on then.
Well, yeah, they all are. The director, the actors are saying, like, you know what, I could get behind this.
This is my key. This is my ticket to the A-list celebrity status.
It must have worked in a way because it's like a cult classic now. It's so
the only thing about them films is the first one, the Doctor. What a fucking actor!
Yeah.
Like, he is one scary bastard.
Yeah, I know what you mean because he's scary.
Yeah,
but he don't come. He's how do you put it?
I don't know. He's just got that aura about him, isn't he?
Yeah, because he don't like come across as like an aggressive
person, but you're
but
like, fuck started on him.
Yeah, it's like I'll tell you another fucked up film, that Tusk.
Oh, I ain't seen that.
Oh, mate, that is fucked up. If you know, you know. Pretty much this bloke's got an obsession with walruses and he turns people into them.
Does someone come up with that?
I used to think like people who made like Sharknado were fucked up, but then I see these, I'm like, you know
you're
what?
Quite sane, didn't you?
Yeah, it's like it's like a spoonful of sugar compared to them. They're like cyanide, and I know there's a lot worse out there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's people like, oh, you don't want to see this, then.
Yeah,
and it's just pretty much a snuff film where you're actually seeing people getting tortured and murdered.
There is a film like that. I can't think of what it was called, but I remember. I'm not going to say too much about it, but there's a scene of this guy that basically has to eat a tortoise, and I swear it was a genuine tortoise, and the film got banned because of it. Like, he had to rip the shell off and, like,
I think I know it.
I can't think what the film's called. If someone knows, please let me know. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was genuine and it got banned because of it. It's like, yeah, no fucking wonder.
Yeah, because that's just animal cruelty. At least kill it first.
Yeah.
But Jeff caught them and stabbed them to death. This woke up Lou, who was recently released because he got arrested.
Yeah.
With Jeff telling him, as he was about to plunge a knife into his body, "Go to sleep," which is also like Jeff the Killer's like catchphrase,
right?
So to say, you know, like like Freddy Krueger's like, "Welcome to my world, bitch."
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. Jeff then went on a serial killing rampage, killing those who refused to sleep at night. And as the story continued, Jeff renamed himself Jeff the Killer.
Creative.
Yeah. Oh my god. And let's say there's loads of different versions because then it brought out like Jane the Killer, Jeff the Killer versus Slenderman, Homicidal Lou.
So the brother even got in on it.
Yeah, like I say, there was Jeff the Killer 2015 remake. Because of the 2011 Creepypasta story was criticised by many for its poor quality, it was even protested that it should not have been allowed on the Creepypasta wiki.
Jesus Christ, some people are taking that personal, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. For not meeting the actual required standards.
What do you mean? It's a fucking story.
Because of this, it was taken down from the Creepypasta wiki. A year later, however, users constantly re-uploaded it, objecting to the idea of it being taken down due to it being one of the most popular creepypastas at the time. In late 2014, the community finally decided that the story was banned from the Creepypasta wiki entirely and officially be moved to the Spinpasta wiki. Why do it to pasta? I love pasta. However, the story was taken down there as well. The story can be found on the official Creepypasta website, Trollpasta Wiki, now a closed wiki, and Just the Kittens Wiki, original Jeff the Killer Wiki. Just
the kittens.
Oh, I get it. JTK. Jeff the Killer.
Just the kittens, yeah.
A wiki dedicated to all Jeff the Killer fandom stories.
Well, there you go. There's another episode sorted.
Nah, I am not reading like Jeff the Killer fan fiction.
Oh God, yeah, you know he's shagging someone.
Yeah,
100%. It's going full on 50 Shades of Grey erotic shit. Him and Slenderman having a good old fucking fondle.
Yeah.
Oh God,
we
got to do it now. We got to do it.
No, we're fucking not.
Got to do it just for the culture.
No, I do not want to be seen on camera spewing up because that is what will happen. You just know it will. As a result of the Creepypasta being taken out from the Creepypasta wiki, a competition was made to remake the story entirely and create something more realistic and frightening that could be featured on the wiki. More realistic. So you're telling me a man with no face and tentacles coming out of his back is more likely than a kid who got bleached and flamed up,
Lost his mind a little bit.
Yeah, and killed his
His
family.
mother wanted to do him in. So he's like, nah, bitch, I'm getting you first.
Yeah, is less likely. Are you sure?
Thing is, I'm pretty sure if you look, there would be something like that that's actually happened.
Yeah, 100%.
It wouldn't shock me at all.
100%.
So, for them to say that's less likely.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Admin K banning Kellum's story won first place. However, it had to be cut down to half its size due to the contest word limit.
Jesus.
The uncut version can be viewed on the Spinpasta wiki, so if you want to read more, have a look. The remake stays true to the original Creepypasta with the same characters, with Jeff and his family moving into a new neighbourhood, as well as a fight between Jeff and a trio of bullies. However, the result of Jeff's deformed face is different from the one in the original Creepypasta. Unlike the original Creepypasta, Jeff and Lou's ages are stated, with Jeff being 15 years old and Lou being 14 years old. However, this is only revealed in the uncut version of the remake. K-Ban and Kellum became proud of his remake, and soon after wiki user Kevin Tierney made a Jane the Killer adaptation to the remake, he decided to continue the Creepypasta and by making a sequel. Because this is the thing, right, which we'll keep mentioning as well, like, creepypastas are fake, they are rote, they are made up. But you'll see as we go into, like, some of the others, that people have took it for gospel.
Yeah.
And that's what, and it is scary, like how many people delusional.
Yeah.
That they believe everything.
Yeah.
On the internet.
As well.
I mean, that is saying a lot from someone who thinks there's a chance Bigfoot's real.
But at the same time, it's weird. It's
Twin Towers is an inside job, but you know.
Yeah. But it's quite terrifying as well how many impressionable people there are.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? That read that and do shit because of it.
Yeah, because that's the thing as well, isn't it? Like, 'cause it's, like, being young, like 12, 13 years old, I mean, we didn't really have that luxury, but they do now. Like, being able to just go, you've got the whole world at your fingertips.
Yeah.
And you could get onto some dodgy websites.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Well, not even dodgy, like, say, like, websites like Reddit and stuff like that, where
anything can get uploaded.
Yeah, and then people might read that and think, oh my God, that is real.
Like, I'm not going to go into detail, but even at my age now, some of the shit I've found on the internet, not through looking, but just somehow happened.
Yeah, dirty bastard.
No, not like that. Not like that. That I have been looking for. No, but some of the shit I've seen is just like, oh, and it almost traumatized me.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck knows what it can do to a child.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
But not many people know the true origin of the original The Jeff the Killer image. Many people believe it was a Photoshop picture of a woman named Katie Robinson who allegedly committed suicide due to excessive cyberbullying after visiting 4chans/b/board.
Jesus Christ, that's a throwback. 4chan,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Huh?
4chan.
What's that?
It used to be, it was almost like the original Tumblr, is the only way I can describe it.
Okay.
But there was, like, people used to, like, upload films on there and everything. It was just mad.
Right, okay. Fucked if I know. Around the year 2008. And it was believed for several years that the picture of the girl was apparently the now famous Jeff the Killer image. However, this claim is entirely false and has been debunked numerous times, as there are no records of it actually happening. Around 2015, during an interview with YouTube user Scare Theater, the original creator of Jeff the Killer claims that the Katie Robinson suicide is a bogus story and confirms that the image is actually a picture of himself wearing a white latex mask. However, what was even more strange is that this is also false, even though he did write the original story.
So what is the picture then?
Exactly. That's a bit fucked up.
Yeah. I'm intrigued. I want to know who the fuck this teaser is.
The thing is, when it was originally done, and 2015, like, surely that could just be made. I'm not a techie person.
Well, yeah, sure, I assume so.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, okay, it's like technology's not as advanced as it is now, like with AI and shit, but there was still, like, high-end CGI and shit. Do you know what I mean? So surely, yeah, fuck knows.
Yeah, okay. The Jeff image has been seen in places which date to 2005. It has been seen in a Japanese video published on YouTube on 2nd of August 2007. I don't know how...
What's that say?
Japanese letters. I don't know. I don't know. What's that? Is that meant to be like No Nut November? Yeah.
If there's any geezer you want to make you win at No Nut November, it's this, Donny.
Yeah,
100%. My God.
Or at least very challenging. Which is apparently for a horror film project entitled Victims of Tomorrow or something to that effect. There you go.
Don't even need to read the Japanese writing.
Yeah. Wherein a series of names and ages are listed. After Jeff's face appears for a split second, there is text that says good night, which might be a precursor to go to sleep. The earliest confirmed sighting of the image was on 16th of November 2005 on a Japanese message board named pya.cc, along with another image that Cesure also posted, where he claimed that the alternate version was his original design concept. Cesure's earliest known internet presence was 14th of August 2008, where he made a Newgrounds account called Killer Jeff, where he acted as if he were Jeff, the original Jeff the Killer. Video was uploaded on the 3rd of November 2008. The origins of the image and the subject it portrays are still unknown, as well as how it connects to Japan's internet culture. The most likely story is one that is unverifiable in this version of the story, posted a few /b/users. What the fuck even is that? If you know, you tell me, because I haven't got a fucking...
Yeah, there's someone watching going, yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
The photograph is of a woman whose identity is currently unknown, although it is speculated that her name is Victoria. She streamed on the now defunct website Stickum in 2005 and used /b/ as a means of promoting herself after the Something Awful forums started to become obsolete. One user took a screenshot of her face and posted it, acting as if they were her, with the caption, "Am I pretty?" In a successive series of images photoshopped by different users, one said in response, "Now you are." After finding out about the series of events, the woman stopped streaming and vanished.
Jesus Christ.
3 images of Jeff are nowadays generally accepted as being from the thread if it did occur. The famous one, the alternative version, as Cecile claimed it was, and a much more realistic, although lower resolution version, building off the most famous version. And like I say, with this, Jeff has an extremely pale skin and burnt off eyelids, giving him an even more ghostly appearance. Jeff later got his distinctive trait, the Glasgow smile, or the Glasgow grin. Or was it Chelsea grin?
Chelsea grin, isn't it?
No, I think it is the Glasgow grin.
Remember
Sons of Anarchy? Because that's what Chips has.
Yes, yeah.
Jimmy O'Halloran.
Yeah.
That he carved into...
Yeah, sorry, Chelsea grin's the one with the fucking cars, isn't it?
Yeah,
You've got Green Street.
Yeah, that's just fucking... Yeah, Green Street. It's probably not even a thing.
No.
Yeah, the guy that he carved into his face. His build is commonly described as thin, but with some lean muscle tone at the same time, and reaching a height of around 5'10" to 6 foot. So it's about the same height as me. No, they don't know this because I've always thought of myself as 5'9", Then I had to do a medical for my house insurance, so we had a nurse come round, gave me the foot, like, looking at. I don't know. Some sort of medical. Gave me the once over. Oh no, that sounds wrong. And she had to do my height, and I was like, I think I'm about 5'9". Not 5'9". She went, no, you're taller than that. I was like, what? And she said, at first she went, oh, you're closer to like 6 foot, and I was like, nah, fuck off.
Is that you alright, girl?
I was like, nah, fuck off. If I'm 6 foot, I'm honestly just gonna walk around with my knob out. Like, I am the man. And she went, oh no, you're 5'10" and a half. Half's important.
Yeah.
Every inch counts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not even an inch, half inch. Every half inch counts. I don't care. In various fan depictions, he's typically portrayed in his late teens or early 20s. His clothing normally consists of a pair of black dress trousers with a white hoodie, like described in the story, which is sometimes stained with fresh and old blood from his victims. Oh, God, I ain't going through all this. I got more notes than I thought. But, yeah, so that is Jeff the Killer. I think I might... do I leave Slenderman till last?
Yeah, you got to really... He's the one you think of.
Yeah,
So, yeah, you got
Yeah, I'd say he's the most famous. So, what are your thoughts of Jeff the Killer?
I'm more intrigued about where this fucking picture come from.
Yeah, but I can remember. I think like I'd have been at school at the time, and do you remember like when he was in like IT, and like there was always, like people, there was always like a hacker at school.
Yeah, some geezer knew how to get onto like the other shit. Yeah.
And I remember that picture, like the famous picture, which you'll see here again.
If I forget, we're just gonna look like the biggest fucking morons.
Twats, but yeah, so that picture, I do remember seeing it and thinking, what the fuck is that? Someone's just made that up. That looks creepy.
Yeah.
But and I didn't think nothing of it.
I think the first time I would have seen it would have been like, you know, them sort of like videos where it jump scare you.
Yeah.
And there's like halfway through a calm video and then it'd be just like this creepy face with like that high pitched scream in the background.
Yeah.
I think that might be where the first time I've seen something like it.
That probably was the same for me. Thinking about it. But this one I didn't know of until, well, I'd say more recent.
Right.
When I started to get more into cryptozoology and started looking more. I'm not saying it's real before you start. So keep your fucking trousers on. Yeah, deck. Yeah, that's lost down over a few viewers. Bollocks. Oh well. But I remember seeing this because when I started looking more into like the Wendigo, skinwalkers and that, and then this kept coming up, and I'm thinking, the rake. That just sounds like a garden
tool, yeah.
Being from a landscaping background, I know what a rake is. Trust me. I know all the rakes. I'll use all the rakes. But I was like, the rake? And I was like, what the fuck? And then, I started looking more into it.
Yeah.
And it turned out that it's a creepypasta. But I must say, out of all the creepypastas, like most of them, I believe that the rake could... This does sound fucked up. Could be a resemblance of something that is out there. Do
right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like the inspiration for the rake come from something that could be out there, sort of thing.
Yeah. Because during the summer of 2003, events in northeastern United States involving a strange human-like creature sparked brief local media interest before an apparent blackout was enacted. Little or no information was left intact, as most online and written accounts of the creature were mysteriously destroyed. You are a cock-teaser bastard.
I'm sorry.
Let's say people know I've quit smoking and they've got this knobhead. Wrong facts. Oh. Jesus. No, I'm doing well. Audit. Primarily focused in rural New York State and once found in Idaho, self-proclaimed witnesses told stories of their encounters with a creature of unknown origin. Emotions range from extremely traumatic levels of fright and discomfort to an almost childlike sense of playfulness and curiosity. While their published versions are no longer on record, the memories remain powerful. Several of the involved parties began looking for the answers that year. In 2006, a collaboration had acclaimed nearly 24 documents dating between the 12th century and present day, spanning 4 continents. In almost all cases, the stories were identical. This is a mariner's log. He came to me in my sleep, from the foot of my bed. I felt a sensation. He took everything. We must return to England. We shall not come here again at the request of the Rake. This is a journal entry. This is translated from Spanish in 1880. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. And that's not me with a stir, that's just how it's read.
Fucking hell.
Are you good?
Yeah, you made me laugh.
Oh, why is it when you're doing something?
Yeah.
It's usually when you're having a drink, though. So.
Yeah.
I see his eyes. No, I'm joking. when I close mine, they are hollow, black. They saw me and pierced me. His wet hand, I will not sleep. His voice, I don't know. It's got a funny voice. This is
his wet hand just, hello there, Chad.
Well, I like the little boy. I like the free my Willie. If you don't know, that is from some YouTube gold. Do you remember? I hope it's still up there. I hope it's still up. It's called Mr. Pregnant. And I remember seeing it as a kid and absolutely rolling. He pretends he's Michael Jackson. Honestly, it's fucking a power.
Oh, that just brought back a memory and a half.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if you search up Mr. Pregnant, Free Willy, it's nothing dirty, don't worry, but it's so funny. This is a suicide note from 1964.
Jesus Christ.
As I prepare to take my life, I feel it necessary to assuage any guilt or pain I have introduced through this act. It is not the fault of anyone other than him. For once I awoke and felt his presence, and once I awoke I saw his form. Once again I awoke and heard his voice and looked into his eyes. I cannot sleep without fear of what I might next awake to experience. I cannot ever wake again. Goodbye.
Jesus.
And this was found in the same wooden box where 2 empty envelopes addressed to William and Rose and 1 loose personal letter with no envelope. Dearest Linny, I have prayed for you. He spoke your name.
Nah. Fuck that.
Like I say, this is not real. None of this is real.
No.
This has all been made up.
Yeah.
But my God,
There are some fucking clever writers out there.
Why aren't they doing films of this?
Yeah, I don't get it. Half the stuff, like, not just like on this one, but like Creepypasta in general.
Yeah.
They can make bank off it. I know. Well, mind you, saying that they did try with the Slender Man and it didn't exactly hit, did it?
But I think it's because they've done it off in a way, like, I don't know, they might have got like some of the experts in the help, but they just went off their own back.
Yeah. They needed to stick to the original.
With stuff like this, if you went to the communities that actually love this kind of stuff, like, what would you want to see in a Slender Man film or a Creepypasta?
Yeah.
Film? Like, I don't care what it is, a Jeff the Killer, the Rake, what else? Smile Dog, Russian Sleep Experiment, whatever. If you went to like them kind of communities and said, like, what would you like to see in a film based on this? And if you just read like the original stories or whatever, the lore, then go off that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That could you could go, well, with a lot of these, they just seem to like, oh, it's like a director's like, oh yeah, I heard about Slender Man. He comes to like makes people go all funny and that.
Yeah.
Go with that. But I didn't think it was terrible.
To be honest, I haven't even seen it.
It was quite a while ago when I last saw it, but I didn't think it was terrible. I thought it could have been better, but as well, it could have been made a lot worse.
Right.
Because I think as well, it like drew from the crimes and everything.
Yeah.
It was a very. It's not bad. It's not bad. It could be better, but it could be worse.
Yeah. These are the sort of ones though where fan films 9 times out of 10
do really well.
Smash it at the park. Because, like you said, they have got that fan background. Do you know what I mean?
They got the knowledge. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing. This is from a witness in 2006. 3 years ago, I had just returned from a trip to Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. We were all very exhausted after a long day of driving, so my husband and I put the kids straight to bed and called it a night. At about 4 a.m, I woke up thinking my husband had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to wake him in the process. I apologised and told him I thought he was out of bed. When he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet up from the end of the bed so quickly his knee almost knocked me out of the bed. He then grabbed me and said nothing.
Shit! He's just caving that. He's like, you fucking stole the sheet from me, you bitch.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't mean that.
There was something there, silly me.
After adjusting to the dark for half a second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting and facing away from us, was what appeared to be a naked man or a large hairless dog. Because they look the same, don't they?
How the fuck did you get them mixed up?
Of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as to its condition. What do you mean?
Some creepy fuck is sitting at the end of your bed and your first reaction is, you're right, boss.
Yeah.
Fuck that thing's getting Spartan kicked.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's right though, isn't it? If I saw the rake at the end of my bed, and I'm just like, oh, are you okay? No!
Look a little bit cold there, mate. Do you want a blanket?
Yeah.
I'll fix you up a nice cuppa.
You're getting...
Fuck that thing's getting done in.
You're getting all 18 to 19 stone jumping at you. Hopefully with boxers on. Otherwise, that's an uncomfortable ride for all of us involved. Like, I'm full on, like monkey jumping at you.
Yeah, too right.
Yeah, bastard. Fucking ask if it's all right. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Went and knock on the door suffice. My husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked into the fetal position. You're doing well there, boss. You're doing well. Occasionally glancing at me before returning to the creature. In a flurry of motion, it scrambled around the side of the bed and then crawled quickly into a flailing sort of way right along the covers until it was less than a foot from my husband's face.
Nah! Oh my God, I think I fucking fallen Schwarzenegger on the cunts.
I wouldn't have let it get to that point.
Fuck that.
Because in a way, serves him right.
Yeah,
in a way,
too right.
She's like, all like, oh, I wonder if it needs a bandage. And he's like, cowering. Like,
fuck that shit.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm like, it's to this point, right? In these last 6 months we haven't been on, I've found the only way I'm ever going to die, I've got a right obsession with it. I think you know about it. I've got a right obsession. Like, the only way I'm going to die is in our last stand.
Right, yeah.
Right. Like, I'm not talking like, I mean medieval. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be in full suit of armour with a fucking great long sword. And I want to be able, yeah, and like I want to be bollocks. I want to be knackered, and I have to hold the sword to like pull myself up. And there's like a horde of them. I'm like, you know,
fucking come on, then.
Yeah, but I know that probably won't happen because Suits of armour are expensive.
Not the fact there's guns and shit nowadays. No, I'm thinking if there's a horde coming after you,
right,
they're going to have guns.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Wait, yeah, still though. Game's game. That's why I lost. That's why I'm in the last stand.
Didn't get the memo. It's like, oh yeah, I should have used that really. Yeah.
But like, if I saw that, I'd be like, yeah, this is it. Like, I know I probably won't survive this because what the fuck? How did that get in here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If a burglar jumps into my house or gets in my house somehow, like every time some like shit like that happens, I'm gonna treat it like a last stand.
Yeah,
and that's either one of us
is
at
dying,
least is gonna die.
Yeah,
either die or get severely injured.
Yeah.
You know, and if that's me, that's okay. But you're coming with me.
Yeah,
it's either you or both of us. There's no you. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing, but you know, we do. That was like how, in a way, that kind of come over me when we was at Cannock.
Right. Yeah.
You know, when I got really protective, I thought, nah, if something is there and that's going to try and take us, I'm taking it with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not going to give it the chance. So, yeah, I've got a really mad obsession. And it's... Lewis always makes me laugh with it. It's like, when you see some of them reels and that like, on Instagram...
With the fucking TikTok, Madonna song in the background, yeah.
And me and Lewis, because Lewis is the same, he's got a little bit of an obsession with it as well. He said, if this happens, then I'm singing it.
I can just imagine it going hell for leather, trying to take these ones off. Just I hear your voice.
Or like I'm the one fighting, and he's like on
in
the tower.
Background, yeah. When you call my name, it's like...
Oh, that'd be the best. That would be the
brilliant.
Fucking best. But yeah, so if you know, that's the only way I'm ever going down. And the thing is, like, if worst came to worst, and like I end up getting something terminal, I'm just gonna make it happen.
Or just start a civil war or some shit.
Well, yeah, because I'm gonna die anyway.
You ain't living to see the consequences, so fuck it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why not?
It's like, joke's on you. I'm already dying. People that got a bucket list, that's mine.
So, what's on your bucket list? I don't know. I'd love to go see like Niagara Falls or some shit. What about yours? I don't know. I can't think of anything else. But then yours is just start a civil war if I'm dying, so I can have a last stand.
Pretty much, yeah.
Fucking hell. How have we gotten to that from some creepy Donny at the bottom of the bed?
Yeah, I know. It was completely silent for about 30 seconds, probably closer to 5, but it seemed like a while. Just looking at my husband, it then placed its hand on his knee and ran.
That episode in between us. The field trip. It's like, yes, quick massage before bed. That's what he was doing.
Oh, what was his name? Mr.
Pino Kennedy.
Pino Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, fucking hell.
And ran into the hallway leading to the kids' rooms.
Nah.
I screamed and ran for the light switch, planning to stop this thing before it hurt my children.
Fair play.
When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see it crouching and hunched over about 20 feet away. It turned around and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch on the wall and saw my daughter Clara.
Nah.
The creature ran downstairs as my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was very badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life.
Aww.
She said, "He is the Rake."
Oh, bless her. It's not real. Why am I saying bless her?
My husband drove his car into a lake that night while rushing our daughter to the hospital. They did not survive. That husband is a useless sack of shite.
I thought she was bad offering the geezer a cuppa, but no, he's on another fucking level.
Mate. He's like, gotta go to the hospital. Ooh. You probably didn't mean to, but for fuck's sake, man. You've had a rotter. Being a small town, news got around pretty quickly. The police were helpful at first, and the local newspaper took a lot of interest as well.
I bet they fucking did.
However, the story was never published, and the local television news never followed up either. For several months, my son Justin and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I began looking for answers myself. I eventually located a man in the next town over who had a similar story. We got in contact and talked about our experiences. That's what Rake sounded like. He knew of 2 other people in New York who had seen the creature we now refer to as the Rake. It took the 4 of us 2 solid years of hunting on the internet and writing letters to come up with a small collection of what we believed to be accounts of the Rake. None of them gave any details, history or follow-up. One journal had an entry involving the creature in its first 3 pages, then never mentioned it again. A ship's log explained nothing of the encounter, saying only that they were told to leave by the Rake. That was the last entry in the log. That's what I read earlier.
Yeah.
There were, however, many instances where the creature's visit was one of a series of visits with the same person. Multiple people also mentioned being spoken to, my daughter included. This led us to wonder if the Rake had visited any of us before our last encounter. I set up a digital recorder near my bed and left it running all night, every night for 2 weeks. I would tediously scan through the sounds of me rolling around in bed each day when I woke up. By the end of the 2nd week, I was quite used to the occasional sound of sleep while blurring through the recording at 8 times the normal speed. It still took almost an hour every day. On the first day of the 3rd week, I thought I heard something different. What I found was a shrill voice. It was the Rake. I can't listen to it long enough to even begin to transcribe it. I haven't let anyone listen to it yet. All I know is that I've heard it before, and I now believe that it spoke when it was sitting in front of my husband. I don't remember hearing anything at the time, but for some reason the voice on the recorder immediately brings me back to that moment. The thoughts that must have gone through my daughter's head make me very upset. I have not seen the Rake since he ruined my life, but I know that he has been in my room while I slept. I know and fear that one night I'll wake up to seeing him staring at me.
Mark it now.
That is such a good story.
Yeah.
Such
Again,
a
like
good
you were
story.
saying earlier, though, perfect for like a film, even like a mini film. Do you know what I mean?
Or even a series.
Yeah,
You could do a
someone
right good
do it.
series on that. Oh, that'd be sick, you know. But from what from all that, there's a couple of pictures of the Rake, but the most famous one is put here. And you look at that.
Yeah, I've seen that picture before as well. I swear that's come up when I've like googled like Wendigo or something. To be honest,
Thank you. Because the original story of a Wendigo, not the one with the deer antlers and everything, even though that does look sick as fuck, like they look really cool.
it does look cool.
But the original description of a Wendigo is a humanoid, like a human, but incredibly emaciated, like really skinny, malnourished, with no hair or very little hair, pointy teeth, sunken in eyes, like more they turn animalistic.
Yeah.
As well. Then they have like no lips because they've chewed them off. I know like a lot of the original Wendigo stories, they're like as tall as trees and stuff like that, but a lot of them are like more
human.
Yeah, because that's when people have turned to greed and they've turned into the Wendigo.
Yeah.
But you could really say like the Rake and the Wendigo going hand in hand.
Yeah.
So to try and like make the Wendigo modern, because when you think a lot of the myths like Wendigo, Skinwalkers, stuff like that, they were like from Indian tribes and they were like spoken around a campfire or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like to scare kids.
Yeah.
To like not
To
venture
stop them
out.
from going here, there, and everywhere.
Is that a modern take?
More than likely.
But because now like kids have got like the world at their fingertips and stuff like that, they know what's real, what's not real.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it hasn't like had the effect of like a Wendigo or something.
Or something like that, yeah.
But-
because kids nowadays, they're just like, nah, bollocks.
Till they go out to the woods and never come back.
Yeah. Quite fitting, actually, that you was on about Wendigo and that.
Have you seen the trailer for?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what... I'll give it a go.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to give it a go because I love the game and it's about Wendigo. So cool.
Yeah.
But it seems like they fucked it.
Yeah, big time.
In the trailer, because it seems like it's like
Almost
Wendigo
like...
is just a small part of it.
Yeah.
When
In reality,
in the
game, it's...
they're the main antagonist.
Yeah, exactly.
What you played in the game and what you think of the antagonists actually aren't.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what is there. But it just seems like with that, like with the trailer...
It's got more like haunted-y, paranormally fucking losing your mind shit.
Yeah, which we don't mind.
I don't mind, but when you look at the premise of the game where it's obviously you think it's going to be the killer, but it's just him playing a prank on them.
Yeah.
And then the Wendigo's the actual main...
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't... I don't mind what they do as long as they don't fuck the Wendigo side of it.
Hey, you see what they look like? They do look...
No, I ain't actually seen what they look like.
It's in the
all
trailer.
fairness.
You don't see it for like a split second. But I'll tell you what, they look sick. They look incredible. But I'm just
hoping they don't balls it up.
No. So yeah, that was the Rake. And bloody hell, looking at the time,
Fucking hell,
that's flown by.
Yeah.
So I'll do one more, and I suppose I better do
the big one.
The big one.
Yeah.
Which if you ain't got a clue what I'm on about, I'm talking about.
I was gonna say we've mentioned him a few times in this episode already.
Let's say, like, I feel like everyone who is from our generation, has heard of the Slender Man.
Or the bare minimum, if you're a gamer, you must have played the game at some point.
I mean, I never played it personally, but I've seen people play it.
Yeah,
and like, I think that's how I knew of it.
That's definitely how I knew of it.
Yeah,
I said, I had no idea. I don't even think at the time what Creepypasta was, let alone that they come up with it or anything. It was literally just, I thought some geezer made a Slenderman game.
Yeah, made a game with a creepy thing. And, but I think a lot of it could have come from like a game or something like that, and people have just loved it. Like they just made lore.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love shit like that.
Yeah, some people's creative minds to do things like that. Like, again, with the Dead by Daylight thing.
Yeah.
For some people to create the lore of these things.
Oh,
they're so intelligent.
It scratches an itch.
But at the same time, it's fucking irritating that people can come up with that, but then you've got these high-end, well-paid producers that just make dross. They make shite.
Or they just have to keep bringing something, like, I used to love the Avenger films, but they're beating that like a dead horse.
Honestly, I've said it a few times, I think to my brother and a few people, ever since Endgame, Marvel has just plummeted. Yeah, okay, they brought out a few good ones, like the second Black Panther, Shang-Chi. I know it's technically not because of Sony, but the Spider-Man, all that, fucking brilliant. But the fact is now, my brother put it perfect, he said it's so irritating because to watch the new films or to watch a TV show, you've got to watch this one just to see that character. Yeah. And then to know where he's from, you've then got to watch his show. And it's just, you've got to keep on track of everything. It's like, no one's got the time for that.
No, it's clever.
Yeah, of course it is.
Because it's making you have to watch it.
Yeah.
Which then brings them revenue.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's so many
a lot of people don't want that.
No. It's like, I know obviously it was so high grossing that you're going to keep it going, like after Endgame.
Yeah.
Because obviously that whole period from the first Iron Man to Avengers Endgame, perfect. You can't fault it.
No.
And obviously they would have made that much money. It's like, how can we not keep this going?
But with that, it was like 1, maybe 2 a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas now it's like every fucking 3 months.
And to watch that one film that I was on about, you need to watch about 5 TV shows just to notice 3 characters in these.
Yeah.
Just to know their backstory so it makes sense in the film. And no one's got the time for that.
No.
But again, with Endgame, it was the perfect finishing point.
It was.
So it's like, it would have been, again, I get it from a business side of things, you're going to keep it going. But from just a casual fan side of it,
that was perfect.
So many people are just going to cut off there because it's like, why would I risk ruining it? Especially now.
And I think as well, because we're talking it like from our generation, like when the first Iron Man, we were still like kids.
Yeah, exactly. We grew up with it.
It was like it was like that circle. It was the arc.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's like gave us peace. I mean, for the new generation, it is probably like more nice, like to carry it on. But
And I do honestly think it is a generation thing as well, because the amount of shit now that you look at in the shows, you're like, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
But then the people that obviously grown up with it, they're like, no, it makes sense because of X, Y, Z. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, nah.
But and as well, like even like when we talk like with paranormal films, a lot of them are just the same premise.
Yeah, there's not been an original idea for so long, and the ones that are original, they've either got such a poor budget or haven't thoroughly thought it through.
No,
that they just don't work.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, I mean, I haven't seen it, but like the new, oh no, it ain't even come out yet. But even like say like the Conjuring films, I love them.
Yeah,
they're my favourite horror.
Yeah, I agree.
Films.
I agree.
I think even though we're not the biggest fans of Ed and Lorraine Warren,
no, but
people,
just take the reality out of it and just look at it from a film aspect.
Unbelievable,
perfect,
fantastic.
It's like, yeah, okay, they're horror films, but I don't think I've actually jumped at one. The last film that made me proper shit myself was the first Insidious.
Yeah, well, when
but that's the last film that's proper made me go, Jesus fucking Christ. Do you know what I mean? So
I mean, the last time I proper fucking shit myself was you.
Yeah. Oh no. The Visit. The Visit was the last one when the creepy bitch was doing the gorilla run at the. Yeah. Because that come out of nowhere. But like you were saying, because it's been done that much, and the sad reality is with these sort of genres,
especially like,
you can't really do much more,
like
so it becomes predictable.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, like you said with the Possession one, it's like, well, yeah, she's about to go loopy in a minute.
Yeah,
or like where it's dead silent, like in a horror film, and you're like, well, they're gonna turn around and see something.
Yeah,
it's It's so predictable that it's
no originality.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think as well, like it hasn't got to be completely mad.
No, of course not.
You know, like, yeah, you could go like the other way, go like Lovecraftian and come up with fucking right mad shit.
Yeah.
But even if like something a bit more realistic, like the Rake, the Rake would, if someone made like a Rake film, I think that would go, and doing it well.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like they have done a Wendigo film, like Antlers.
Right, yeah.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
It was on Disney Plus.
I'll have to have a look on that.
It is. I think that is quite a decent film.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Being a name like Antlers, it's gone from the
creepy when they go to the yeah.
But like that's why I think I loved Until Dawn so much.
Yeah.
Because of how like back to its roots it went.
Yeah.
But as well, like even if you did use, like, because you got to think there are so many like true creepy things what has apparently happened, but people don't use it.
No.
Like, when was the last film, or if there is a film about like skinwalkers? I know it's a very touchy subject because like
tribes
Navajo,
and that,
the Navajo tribe are like, no, we do not speak of it. You can't mention them. Like, if there's Navajo listeners, they're probably calling me anything under the
but at the
sun.
same time, it's like, to play devil's advocate, there's so many things nowadays that are touchy subjects, but film producers don't really care.
No,
if they can make money out of it, they're gonna fucking do it.
Exactly. So it is a catch-22 with it. But like, if you look at like different myths and stuff like that, myths and legends. You know, like I had a rain day this week. I tell you, I watched the film Kingdom of Heaven.
Right.
What a film! That is so good. It's about like the French done the Crusades.
Right. Yeah.
And everything. What a film! And it brought in like King Baldwin, the Leper King.
Yeah.
Edward Norton played him. I didn't know that.
Fair play.
But it's so good.
Yeah.
Because I love history anyway.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So that was really, really, really good.
Yeah.
But like, you can do so much.
Yeah. That's like going on that. It's like, just as a side thing, that's what I think my favourite genre film is, if it's got a realistic background or historical background to it.
Yeah.
I seem to get attached to it a lot more.
Yeah. Oh, you'd
because
love
it is that reality base. It's like, fuck this. Obviously, yeah, okay, it's dramatised for film wise, but it's like the premise of it. This shit actually happened. You know what I mean?
You'd love Kingdom of Heaven.
I have to give that. What's it on?
Disney Plus.
Yeah, there we go. Sweet.
Disney Plus is banging.
Yeah.
I love it. Because Tombstone's on there as well. You know, the Western with Val Kilmer. He plays Doc Holliday.
No.
I'll be Huckleberry.
I probably know it if I saw it, but not from the name.
Yeah, that's another good film.
Yeah.
It's got Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott, Val Kilmer, and another bloke. He's quite well known. I can't think of his name. That's a good film. Good Western. I love
the
a
film
Western.
aspects. What we were saying with the originality and things. One film that I think is okay. Yeah, I want to see like Jurassic World because dinosaurs in it. But the one film that Jesus Christ. But the one film that I am buzzing for is 28 Years Later.
Yeah.
But again, that is originality. Yeah, okay, it's a zombie film.
But it's not as well.
No, they're not zombies for starters. And I think they are one of the first, if not the first, to do them like running and just.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think they made it so like really like realistic, like how it could happen.
Yeah.
Like, how like the world would be like.
Yeah.
And I really.
But again,
I
even on
enjoyed
that aspect, where it's like the reality of it is like it's not the world; it's just Britain.
Yeah.
They literally isolated Britain.
Yeah.
It's like, of course they'd do that. If that happened in any other country, they'd isolate them. They'd be like, fuck that. That shit's not coming here.
Yeah, which is fair. But and it's like other films like A Quiet Place. Something
That
not
was
done
brilliant.
Something not done before.
Yeah.
Like monsters have got incredible sense of hearing.
Yeah.
And that.
Granted, I didn't like the newest one.
I
have to admit, I didn't really like the newest one, but the first two.
There's a third one.
Yeah, it's like day one
Oh right. Yeah,
when it first all kicked off and that.
I've only seen the first one. What?
The second one's fucking good.
Is it?
Cillian Murphy's in it.
Oh, well, yeah, that's why you
Says
like
it.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't as bad as Connor.
No,
Jesus.
it's true. But no, like you say, that we love the paranormal and everything like that. But it's only so much you can do with like possession.
Yeah.
With like, I mean, Paranormal Activity was well ahead of its time.
Yeah, 100%.
Well ahead of its time. It's fantastic. I mean, that's a film that gave me nightmares. I always said it was a Grudge, but it was that as well.
Yeah.
It was the ending.
Yeah.
When
When she looks at the fucking camera
that
and shit.
always used
Yeah.
to creep me out. But like, they killed that as well.
Yeah.
Because it kept making them.
Yeah, they don't know when to stop.
No.
And that is the problem. I know, again, from a business aspect, we're going on a mad tangent here, but from a business aspect, if it's making you money, you're going to keep doing it. But you do have to take that urge, like fight that urge back to go, right, leave it now. Let's do something else.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like nowadays, where you see on like YouTube and that, so many fan films and that smash it out the park.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even it's a fan film, but like, because I love that Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I love like Jason Voorhees and that. And yeah, they done 10 of them, but I still love them.
Yeah.
But so sometimes it works, but you know.
Yeah.
But it's because it's not of the actual films themselves. It's like
It's him, innit?
It's him. It's the character. Like I can tell you half the side characters' names. But it's him. But like they done a fan film. I can't remember what it was called. But they done a fan film with Jason. It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
It really got really good reviews. And it was like that Star Wars one as well, when it was like Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Really,
that was unreal.
really good.
The one that I seen recently is that Logan one, where it's like Viking era, but it's Wolverine.
Oh, that's sick.
It's so fucking good because it is that originality.
Yeah.
It's like you can take characters that exist and like eras that exist and combine them together, and 9 times out of 10 they will fail. But you do get that one opportunity. It's like, fucking hell, that is so good.
It's a good fan film.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a well-produced fan
Yeah.
film. Like, yeah, you get some, and it's like...
Yeah, you're like, what is this shit?
Yeah, like, it's just a couple of mates with a camcorder.
Yeah.
But then you get some, and it's like, they've really tried at this. And
Yeah.
it went well. It's like, you remember them horror shorts we
fucking...
to?
Yeah.
Like, some were
Well,
not all of them, really. I think all of them were really well produced.
Yeah. It's just, obviously, because they're not actors, so to speak.
No.
Somehow, come on. But there's one prime example that made us shit ourselves.
Yeah, it really did, yeah.
So...
Oh, that was good.
That was really good.
You know what? I'm going to leave Slenderman this week.
Yeah?
Because we're already over an hour. I think Slenderman deserves his own.
Oh, go on then, yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
So what I'll do, I'm sorry if you've...
hyped up to say, listen to it. We
Yeah.
just cock tease you like a motherfucker.
Yeah, we probably... Or should I do it?
No, you've said it now. Like you said, it
dunno,
deserves its own. It deserves its own.
Oh, I feel stuck.
Because think how much there is to go on him as well. We could be here for at least another hour talking about him.
That's true.
Not only just his lore and that, but the shit that's happened because of...
Yeah.
That deserves its own, I reckon.
All right then, Josh. So you've took the blame.
Yeah, I'll take the blame. I'll do it. Come at me. Come on, then.
So, even though the tangent was because of Slender Man.
Basically, yeah, that last 20 minutes, we've just basically gone, have that mug.
Yeah, pretty much. But you know what we mean.
Yeah.
I feel like we can't do Slender Man justice if we speak about him now for like
5-10 minutes.
To rush it. So this one, I'm going to do the Russian sleep experiment.
Which, on a side note, again, I never knew it was a creepypasta, and this is the one that I have heard of before, and I genuinely thought for a brief time it was genuine.
Yeah, so did I.
Because it is that well written.
Yeah, well written.
And that
how
picture,
it was passed around.
And that picture as well, I was oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, that looked like a fucking Rake Wendigo thing. Anyway.
And as well, like, side note, if there's anyone that's going to do it, it's the fucking Russians. Do you know what I mean? Especially nowadays, you look at them, you're like, yeah, why wouldn't they do this? Why wouldn't they?
Right. Russian researchers in the late 1940s kept 5 people awake for 15 days using an experimental gas-based stimulant. They were kept in a sealed environment to carefully monitor their oxygen intake so the gas didn't kill them, since it was toxic in high concentrations. This was before closed-circuit cameras, so they had only microphones and 5-inch thick glass porthole sized windows into the chamber to monitor them. The chamber was stacked with books and cots to sleep on, but no bedding, as well as running water, a toilet, and enough dried food to last all 5 for over a month. The test subjects were political prisoners deemed enemies of the state during World War II. Everything was fine for the first 5 days. The subjects hardly complained, having been promised falsely that they would be freed if they submitted to the test and did not sleep for 30 days. Their conversations and activities were monitored, and it was noted that they continued to talk about increasingly traumatic incidents in their past. The general tone of their conversations took on a darker aspect after the 4th day mark. After 5 days, they started to complain about the circumstances and events that led them to where they were, and started to demonstrate severe paranoia. They stopped talking to each other and began alternately whispering into the microphones and one-way mirrored portholes. Oddly, they all seemed to think they could win the trust of their experimenters by turning over their comrades. The other subjects in captivity with them at first. At first, the researchers suspected this was an effect of the gas itself. After 9 days, the first of them started screaming. He ran the length of the chamber repeatedly, yelling at the top of his lungs for 3 hours straight, at which point he continued attempting to scream, but was only able to produce occasional squeaks. The research... You imagine that, Luke. I know there's a toy.
Watching him going mental, losing the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with him?
You've had a rotter here, boss, ain't you? The researchers postulated that he had physically torn his vocal cords.
Jesus Christ.
The most surprising thing about this behaviour was how the other captives reacted to it, or rather, didn't react to it. They continued whispering into the microphones until the second of the captives started to scream. The 2 non-screaming captives took the books apart, smeared page after page with their own feces, and pasted them calmly over the glass portholes. The screaming promptly stopped. So did the whispering into the microphones. After 3 more days passed, the researchers checked the microphones hourly to make sure they were working, since they thought it was impossible that no sound could be occurring with 5 people inside. The oxygen consumption in the chamber indicated that all 5 must still be alive. In fact, it was the amount of oxygen 5 people would consume at a very heavy level of strenuous exercise. On the morning of the 14th day, the The researchers did something they said they would not do to get a reaction from the captives. They used the intercom inside the chamber, hoping to provoke any response from the people they were afraid were either dead or vegetables. They announced, "We are opening the chamber to test the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you your immediate freedom." To their surprise, they heard a calm voice respond in a single phrase, We no longer want to be freed." Debate broke out among the researchers and the military forces funding the research, unable to provoke any more response using the intercom. It was finally decided to open the chamber at midnight on the 15th day. The chamber was flushed of the stimulant gas and filled with fresh air, and immediately voices from the microphones began to object. 3 different voices began begging, as if pleading for the life of loved ones, to turn the gas back on. The chamber was opened and soldiers were sent in to retrieve the test subjects. They began to scream louder than ever, and so did the soldiers when they saw what was inside. 4 of the 5 subjects were still alive, although no one could rightly call the state of any of them in life. The food rations past day 5 had not been so much as touched. There were chunks of meat from the dead test subjects' thighs and chest stuffed into the drain in the centre of the chamber, blocking it and allowing 4 inches of water to accumulate on the floor. Precisely how much of the water on the floor was actually blood was never determined. All 4 surviving test subjects also had large portions of muscle and skin torn away from their own bodies. The destruction of flesh and exposed bone on their fingertips indicated that the wounds were inflicted by hand, not with teeth, as the researchers initially thought. Closer examination of the position and angles of the wounds indicated that most, if not all of them, was self-inflicted.
Just the thought of just sitting there and just...
The abdominal organs, thank God, below the rib cage of all 4 test subjects had been removed, while the heart, lungs and diaphragm remained in place. The skin and most of the muscles attached to the ribs had been ripped off, exposing the lungs through the rib cage. All the blood vessels and organs remained intact, but had been taken out and laid on the floor, fanning out around the eviscerated but still living bodies of the subjects. The digestive tract of all 4 could be seen to be working, digesting food. It quickly became apparent that what they were digesting was their own flesh that they had ripped off and eaten over the course of days.
Jesus Christ.
Most of the soldiers were Russian special operatives at the facility, but still many refused to return to the chamber to remove the test subjects. The subjects themselves continued to scream to be left in the chamber and begged and demanded that the gas to be turned back on lest they fall asleep. To everyone's surprise, the test subjects put up a fierce fight in the process of being removed from the chamber. One of the Russian soldiers died from having his throat ripped out, and another was gravely injured by having his testicles ripped off and an artery in his leg severed by one of the subject's teeth. Another 5 of the soldiers lost their lives, if you count the ones that committed suicide in the weeks following the incident. In the struggle, one of the 4 living subjects had his spleen ruptured and bled out almost immediately. The medical researchers attempted to sedate him, but this proved impossible. He was injected with more than 10 times the human dose of a morphine derivative and still fought like a cornered animal, breaking the ribs and arm of one of the doctors. His heart was seen to beat for a full 2 minutes after he had bled out, to the point where there was more air in his vascular system than blood. Even after it stopped, he continued to scream and flail for another 3 minutes, struggling to anyone in reach and just repeating the word more over and over, weaker and weaker, until he finally fell silent. The surviving 3 test subjects were heavily restrained and moved to a medical facility. The 2 with intact vocal cords continuously begging for the gas, demanding to be kept awake. The most injured of the 3 was taken to the only surgical operating room that the facility had. In the process of preparing the subject to have his organs placed back within his body, it was found that he was effectively immune to the sedative they had given him to prepare for the surgery. He fought furiously against his restraints when the anaesthetic gas was brought out to put him under. He managed to tear most of the way through a 4-inch wide leather strap on one wrist, even through the weight of a 200-pound soldier holding that wrist. It took only a little more anaesthetic than normal to put him under, and the instant his eyelids fluttered and closed, his heart stopped. In the autopsy of the test subject that died on the operating table, it was found that his blood had tripled the normal level of oxygen. The muscles that were still attached to his skeleton were badly torn, and he had broken 9 bones in his struggle to not be subdued. Most of them were from the force his own muscles had exerted on them. The second survivor had been the first of the group of 5 to start screaming. His vocal cords destroyed. He was unable to beg or object to surgery, and he only reacted by shaking his head violently in disapproval when the anaesthetic gas was brought near him. He shook his head yes when someone suggested reluctantly that they should try the surgery without anaesthetic, and did not react for the entire 6-hour procedure of replacing his abdominal organs and attempting to cover them with what remained of his skin. The surgeon presiding stated repeatedly it should not be medically possible for the patient to still be alive. One terrified nurse assisting the surgery stated that she had seen the patient's mouth curl into a smile several times whenever his eyes met hers. Ooh, you guys are fucked up. Whoever wrote this is fucking
genius.
Genius, like madness. When the surgery ended, the subject looked at the surgeon and began to wheeze loudly, attempting to talk while struggling. Assuming this must be something of drastic importance, the surgeon had a pen and pad fetched so the patient could write his message. It was simple: keep cutting. The other 2 test subjects were given the same surgery, both without anaesthetic as well, although they had to be injected with a paralytic for the duration of the operation. The surgeon found it impossible to perform the operation while the patients laughed continuously. Once paralysed, the subjects could only follow the attending researchers with their eyes. The paralytic cleared their system in an abnormally short period of time, and they were soon trying to escape their bonds. The moment they could speak, they were again asking for the stimulant gas. The researchers tried asking why they had injured themselves, why they had ripped out their own guts, and why they wanted to be given the gas again. Only one response was given: I must remain awake. All 3 subjects' restraints were reinforced, and they were placed back into the chamber, awaiting determination as to what should be done with them. The researchers, facing the wrath of their military benefactors for having failed the stated goals of their projects, considered euthanizing the surviving subjects. The commanding officer, an ex-KGB, instead saw potential and wanted to see what would happen if they were put back on the gas. The researchers strongly objected, but were overruled. In preparation for being sealed in the chamber again, the subjects were connected to an EEG monitor and had their restraints padded for long-term confinement. To everyone's surprise, all 3 stopped struggling the moment it was let slip that they were going back on the gas. It was obvious that at this point all 3 were putting up a great struggle to stay awake. One of the subjects that could speak was humming loudly and continuously. The mute subject was straining his legs against the leather bonds with all his might. First left, then right, then left again, for something to focus on. The remaining subject was holding his head off the pillow and blinking rapidly. Which makes me want to fall asleep when I blink rapidly.
Yeah.
Hang on. Having been the first to be wired to the EEG machine, most of the researchers were monitoring his brain waves in surprise. They were normal most of the time, but sometimes flatline
Inexplicably?
Yep. It looked as if he were repeatedly suffering brain death before returning to normal. As they focused on paper scrolling out of the brainwave monitor, only one nurse saw the man's eyes slip shut at the same time his head hit the pillow. His brain waves immediately changed to that of deep sleep, then flatlined for the last time as his heart simultaneously stopped. The only remaining subject that could speak started to scream to be sealed in now. His brain waves showed the same flat lines as the one who had just died from falling asleep. The commander gave the order to seal the chamber with both subjects inside, as well as 3 researchers. One of the named 3 immediately drew his gun and shot the commander point blank between the eyes. He then turned the gun on the mute subject and blew his brains out as well. He pointed his gun at the remaining subject, still restrained to a bed, as the remaining members of the medical and research team fled the room. I won't be locked in here with these things. Not with you. He screamed at the man strapped to the bed. What are you? I must know. The subject smiled. Have you forgotten so easily? The subject asked. We are you. We are the badness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every point in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go to the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread. The subject paused and aimed at the subject's heart and fired. The EEG flatlined as the subject weakly choked out, so nearly free.
Mate, whoever writ that?
Wow.
Fucking incredible. How has that not been made a film?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah,
that is that. Oh, it's fucking horrifying.
I thought that was a real picture.
Yeah, so did I. I genuinely thought, especially when you hear like the little details that they put in this, like right at the beginning where they said, with the gas, how they monitored the level, to keep them alive. It's like that is what they would do.
It is. Oh, mate.
It's so intelligently written.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the fact that it can convince, like myself included, it can convince so many people that it actually was a thing.
Yeah.
That is so good.
I remember, you remember the early days of Twitter?
Yeah.
And stuff like that, when it was Twitter. I used to, because I've always loved, creepy stuff.
Yeah.
There was follows, creepy stories or scary stories and shit like that. And that picture, the one you're about to see here, of, that weird humanoid looking thing. And it said about the Russian sleep experiment. And I was like, I thought, them evil bastards actually doing that.
Yeah.
And it was only a few years later when someone said, Ed, don't be so fucking stupid. That ain't real.
It ain't real, yeah. And you're like, nah, bollocks, come on.
Are you sure? Because, like you say, it's so believable.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
And again, I think as well, it's believable is a case of there's no possession, there's no demon entity. It's simply the fact that they're not sleeping.
Yeah.
That is proven to not obviously cause that, but proven to cause so many people
you got
fucking ape shit.
That was 15 days. I think
what was the longest someone can go without sleep?
I'm pretty sure it's 3 days, and you go into madness.
Let's have a look.
I think you can die.
Yeah,
without
it will
sleep. What about that comes up?
Can people go without sleep? The longest documented time a human has gone without sleep is 264 hours, approximately 11 days, set by Randy Gardner in a scientific experiment. While he recovered without long-term effects, prolonged sleep deprivation led to various cognitive and psychological impairments, including hallucination, delusion, and paranoia.
Yeah.
And that was in 1963, and he was 17 years old. So there you go. It's not even that far off that. Okay, these guys went on another fucking level with Doolally.
Yeah.
But
you got to think, because everyone is different.
Yeah.
Every person on this earth is wired different.
yeah.
No two people are the same. You know, like, he went through delusions and everything like that. It's no different to, like, mate, he scream until his literally
it
his
is.
vocal cord.
Delusion.
And as well, that was just without sleep. They had to do it with this
Gas that's keeping them awake
Yeah.
and all of that shit. Yeah.
But fuck that. I love sleep.
Yeah. I mean, you've
I
seen
love
certain
sleep.
YouTubers do it as well. I can't think of his name, but I've seen a YouTuber do it where I think they went 2 or 3 days without sleep.
Yeah.
And even they was saying, I'm feeling myself going fucking nuts.
Yeah, the longest I've gone 2 or 3 days without sleep.
I think mine's 2 days, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the end of that, I was, do you know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
like almost
'cause-
like a zombie. Just
Yeah, because I was fine. I felt fine. Like, I went through a day and a night, not sleeping. Went through the next day and I felt fine.
yeah.
But it's weird. I felt light.
I know what you mean.
Like, my head felt light.
light-headed, yeah.
Yeah, and I just, you just feel. Oh, I don't know. It's just I
Proper
felt
spaced
really,
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost feels like you're on a drug.
Yeah, pretty much. But fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, I love sleep too much.
Yeah,
I'd end up like these Donnies. Just fucking nuts.
Thing is, I wouldn't be doing it to myself. I'd be ripping everyone else up.
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm like,
Oh, mate, I would be one aggy prick. And the slightest thing would wind me up
yeah,
to another level.
Someone would be like, oh, it's like, when you sit somewhere, someone just starts whistling.
Yeah. You just like you feel yourself building up to just go, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And I'd go mental. Absolutely fucking
I'd rip the fucking
mental.
tongue out.
Yeah.
It's like, whistle now, you prick.
But no, so.
But again, I like how it had the realism side of it,
Yeah.
but it had that creepy pasta sort of ending to it.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, the reason you sleep is because it's basically contained as animal that we all have inside of us.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when you don't sleep. You become this freak.
You become a monster.
Yeah.
And
again, it's got that realism aspect because no one ever knows. No one's made it this long without sleep.
No.
So you never know.
No.
Okay, it's a fabricated story, but you never know if you lasted. How long did they last for? 15 days?
15 days.
15 days. Yeah. No one's even come. 11 days was the longest. That's what, 3 days off. God knows what could happen in them 3 days if you.
4 days.
4 days, sorry. Why can't that become a reality?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And there's so many stories, like, especially like around World War II and that, like with the Nazis, they were doing weird experiments.
Fucked up experiments, yeah.
And stuff. Something like that could have happened. It's just been not documented.
Yeah. Do you know what? There's a thing. I think I'm going to cover that.
What?
Next week.
Yeah.
The Nazi experiments.
Oh, yeah.
Go through.
Oh, speaking of next week, what are we doing, John?
Well, next week we're going to be doing what I just said.
No,
but yeah, I think that's enticed me. I was going to do another one, but I'm going to hold off on that.
What was it?
I'll explain. I'll say to you in a minute.
Okay.
Come on, keep you guys on edge.
Oh.
Tease you a bit. But
Tickling.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do that. Nazi experiments. See how many fucked up ones I can find.
Yeah.
Because I'm in this mood now to find up weird shit like this.
Yeah. But like I say, like, I love a creepypasta because we love creepy shit. We love weird shit.
Yeah.
Like things.
It's not normal, really.
Yeah, unnatural, supernatural, whatever, paranormal.
Yeah.
We love it. We absolutely
The unexplained, I love putting it under
Yeah,
the title.
yeah,
If it's
yeah.
unexplained, I'm there for it.
Yeah, 100%. That's the whole point of the podcast. To be fair.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
But because we do have such a love for it. But I mean, how, like you said, the imagination of people, like how they can write stuff like this.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, so we haven't even made a dent.
In half of them.
No. And I ain't going.
We haven't even made I know we was gonna of a cock t-shirt, but we haven't even mentioned
we
the
have.
big one yet. Literally
Yeah,
the
really.
fucking big one.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and the other one. Sorry.
Siren, yeah. I keep forgetting about that one actually, yeah.
So,
oh mate.
I swear last week they were like the main two. I kept going.
Yeah.
And we haven't mentioned either of them. What the fuck?
You love us really.
Yeah,
you love us really.
We're sorry, but we're not.
But in a way, it's a good premise for a TV show.
Yep.
We keep you coming back.
Yeah,
So
exactly. If all the others can do it, why can't we?
we can't wait. Yeah, exactly. Seriously, I need to find out if someone's even considered making the Sleep Experiment film
There
or anything.
probably is on Amazon.
Because
let's be honest.
literally, I put in Rush and it come up, Russian Sleep Experiment movie. In early 2018, a psychological thriller based on the short story began production in Ireland, directed by John Farrelly. The film was subsequently released in November 2022. In July 2019, horror author Jeremy Bates published The Sleep Experiment, a novel closely based on the original story. Currently on Peacock Premium. What's that in the UK?
No, clothes shop.
That's what I thought.
I bet it's got horrendous.
4.5 out of 10 though.
That ain't horrendous though.
No.
Oh mate, some of the films we've watched.
Yeah, that's true.
Amityville Scarecrow.
Yeah.
All I got to say.
Yeah. Which somehow Amazon rated what, 4 stars was it?
Nah, it was like 2.
Oh, was it? I thought it was like...
No, it was like half a star, I think.
Go back. I want to see. What's it say? 2 detectives begin an investigation.
The thing is, like, I'd love to see him going into making a film, but I'm so scared of watching them if they butcher it.
Bollock it, yeah.
Very entertaining. The thing is, because
this is more of a thriller / suspense film
than
anything, but certainly could have become a horror film, but it stopped short of it. I know nothing of the real experiments this is based on, but I found out it is based on real life experiments.
It's not.
It's not. But again, point proven. They genuinely thought it was real.
Yeah. That's the scary thing. And like you say, when we go and do our Slender Man episode, people took that seriously.
Yeah.
So,
I'll have to see if I can find that somewhere and give that a go.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued now how they do that.
But like so, if people want to see more Creepypasta episodes, I'll be happy to do them.
Yeah, because they are good. They are
The
really
thing is,
good.
I like the ones where there's an entity of a sort.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's a lot out there where it's like games or like weird, like there is weird shit.
Yeah.
But I prefer like Slender Man, Siren Head, Jeff the Killer.
Yeah, them sort of.
You know, where there is an entity of sort.
Yeah.
Do you know, the Rake? But you know, if people want any more, please let us know.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. We definitely need to cover another just to get Slender Man and Siren Head.
Yeah.
Siren Head.
I think I'll do them 2 in one episode.
Yeah.
I feel like.
But yeah, no, 100% we need to revisit this back.
Oh yeah. So next week we're doing Nazi experiments.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like I said, I was going to do another, but that has really led me on to finding what fucked up shit these Donnies do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they did
do some brutal shit.
The SS man were fucked.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of the guy's name, but the one that was similar to like Ed Gein. What was his fucking name?
Don't know.
Some Nazi doctor, and he basically did similar things to what Ed Gein done.
Oh right.
With like, again, if you know the story of Ed Gein, he was basically the inspiration behind
Leatherface,
Psycho, and
Buffalo Bill,
and yeah,
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. So, if you know about him, you know what I'm sort of getting at.
They're bringing out an Ed Gein TV show, like series, and Charlie Hunnam is playing Ed Gein.
Oh, was he actually?
You know the series on Netflix when they did Jeffrey Dahmer and the Menendez brothers?
Yeah.
What's it?
Mindhunter. Mindhunter?
No, that's a separate series. They need to bring out back as well. Mindhunter needs to be back, and I know there's people out there that agree with me because that was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it,
I haven't even seen it. I'll be
because it's got like the serial killers they use, like real serial killers, like Ed Kemper.
Right, yeah.
There's a bit with Charles Manson.
Oh.
There's a bit with Son of Sam.
Oh, fucking hell.
BTK
killer.
Yeah. Yeah, so serious serial killers. But the actors they got, like the actor they got play Charles Manson, looks just like him.
Fucking
scarily.
Hell.
And him who plays Ed Kemper.
Yeah.
My God, it is fantastic.
I have to give that a watch as well.
And they stopped making them.
Why? This is just a typical
dicks.
Netflix thing where they just cut it.
Oh, it's so good. I think because when it first came out, when Netflix was just getting going,
right,
like just getting big, and it just didn't get the following because there was like loads of other shit coming on. But then, especially like when COVID happened, like this is when like the real like the true life crime,
all that started became big.
Yeah. And then people were like scrolling through at Netflix, I'm included. I saw that up there and as soon as I saw the word serial killer, I was like, I need to watch it.
Yeah.
And at first, it is just, I have to admit, the road to start is a slow burner.
Right.
But my God, when that gets going, that's so good.
Yeah, I have to give that.
So good.
I never knew that about Charlie Hunnam and.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say Ed Kemper. It's not Ed Kemper.
Yeah,
Ed Gein. That's the one.
Yeah, Ed Gein. Yeah, he's gonna play. Ed
Gein.
Fair
play.
So gotta watch that.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
He's another
I am
one.
the chubby version.
He is another one like yeah. Okay, Stephen Graham's acting is far superior.
Oh,
let's just be honest, it is. But he's another one that whatever he's in seems to be good.
Yeah. Civic Rim. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we're doing that.
Decent. So yeah, like I said, we will be doing the Nazi Russian. No, Jesus Christ, I'm losing the plot. We'll be doing secret Nazi experiments. So you got that to look forward to. But until then, Ed, where can they find us?
Well, you can find us on Facebook, which is Missing Mysteries in black and white. You can follow us on Instagram, which is Missing Mysteries _ Not a word, it's just the actual underline bit. Oh, I love it.
It's so good.
Really buzzed me. Hey, you sorted new email?
No, I haven't. I'm a fucking idiot.
Right. Oh, that's fuck that then. So I've got no email at the minute. But you can message us on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
DM. Slide into the DMs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hated that I've done that. That's cringy as fuck. Oh, I need to go and have a wash. Right. You can follow us on X or Twitter or whatever Elon
fucking
Musk
Muskie boys wanted to call it now.
Missing Mysteries 1. You can follow us on TikTok, which is Missing Mysteries 10. And also, you didn't put any TikToks out last week. Were we that boring?
Well, there weren't really anything I could have put, realistically.
Let's just put back that
we got some fucking bangers for this week, I can tell you that.
Oh,
yeah, 100%. 100%.
Sweet. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which, because of the algorithms, is a bastard to find.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way is through our socials, and it is linked in. But when you do, please subscribe. Even if you don't watch the videos, but why not? Because you get to see our faces.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello. And that is where we put on our reacts when we actually go out into the wilderness or creepy places, which we haven't done for a long time. But it'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
It'll come back. It's just time, innit? But so yeah, that is where we do our hunts. So yeah, go on there, subscribe, like. It'll help out the algorithms, and then it'll be easier for you to see future episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see our lovely podcast room.
Yeah.
So yeah, check us out. Oh, one thing you forgot to do last week on the video.
What's that?
It's the opening credit.
We haven't had that on there for ages.
Yeah,
on the video.
It needs to come back.
Yeah, I need to figure out a way to do that, to be fair.
Okay. But at least it's out there. Because no one else told you Josh Wallen. I'm joking.
Yeah.
But, nah, fucking hate.
Fuck this!
Right, Josh.
Yeah.
Where can they listen to us?
Well, even though you already are, fancy listening on another platform, or all of them, you can find us on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Samsung, Podchaser, Player FM, and iHeartRadio.
Fantastic.
Not Apple Music, because Apple Music are dickheads.
As a proper, redetermined condition.
Yeah. Results may vary.
yeah, that's it. But yeah, so that is Creepypastas Part 1 done.
Yep.
Right.
Buzzing for Part 2 already.
Yeah.
So, no, thank you very much for watching or listening or both, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.
Happy hunting.